love the story. I don't care where they finish. It's the story that counts.
Sorry.
I love the high jumper with the book.
Oh my God, I forgot her name already.
Nicola McDermott.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was like my favorite. Was my favorite person for that night. Oh,
Yeah.
So I know we're talking about the Olympics, and I know we'll do a little plug for the Paralympics coming up. But I kind of wish we had the same approach to both, because I don't know about you, but I teared up a lot of times. I don't know why. I just come back, like literally the last couple of 50, like if it's 50 meters to go, I just get freaking emotional. I'm like, my gosh, I'm riding this with you, and I've never.
I tear up. I tear up watching watching Ian Thorpe chase down Gary Hall Jr. for the 50th time on YouTube, and Catherine Freeman. Oh, it's just sports take you to places. Jess Fox, like my favorite moments. God, I don't know the number of times I raised my arm in the air and jumped off my chair, because I think Jess Fox's her rides, I guess, were always after school. And it's just so nerve-wracking. Like, did she touch the pole? Did she not touch the pole? Oh my God, like the current's taking her away. Like that sport, I kid you not, fell in love with that.
Yeah.
Peter Bowl. I think Jess Fox got me off my chair. Nicola McDermott, the high jump night, got me off my chair.
Yeah.
For sure the swimming, because I love swimming. Watching swimming.
I have to mention the basketball as well, though. That's
yeah.
The Boomers. That's
Give us your rap, Hilson, of the basketball. Go. How do we fare? Did we?
Yeah.
Were we a chance? Did we drop a gold medal? Did we have a shot? Do you think?
Don't go all Andrew Gaze on us, mate. Don't go all Andrew Gaze and take us to the bank. So,
look, I think the Yankees are always going to be the prohibitive favourites, no matter what. But like what George was saying, I think what the allure of sports is always the story, the narrative, and gee whiz, if you're making a movie, the Australian basketball team, just the amount of heartbreak that they've suffered over the last few Olympics, and I just thought Patty Mills's sort of speech after that medal, I think that really, I didn't tear up at any stage, to be honest with you, but that was probably the closest I got to getting quite emotional. I just thought that encapsulates what sports is.
For our younger listeners, Hilson, out there, who don't know who Andrew Gaze was and Shane Heal. So, how have we gone as a nation? Was this the first ever medal we've ever gotten?
Yep, first medal in history.
Since, were we ever close in the other ones?
We're very close in Rio. I think we placed fourth in Rio.
Yeah.
Couple of years back as well, when Bogut was at his peak, I think we were very close as well. We were very close in the World Cup.
Beijing one? 2012?
I think so.
What was 2012 again?
2008.
London.
Yeah. 2008 was Beijing. I don't know how we went there, to be honest. But FIBA World Cup, we were very close as well. It was very nice. I must say, Nicola McDermott, there was something about that night. I think it might have been the second or third last night of the Olympics. So
the javelin was on that night as well, I think.
Yeah, and you're holding on to every shred of come on, Australia. And I have to say, I'm not particularly religious myself, but sort of hearing about her backstory and how much faith.
What was her backstory? Enlighten it. I didn't catch.
So she's very religious.
Okay.
Really deep faith. I think it was more just. There's something about it. Maybe it's the sort of inner English teacher in me, the little notebook out, just, jotting down notes, even drawing, visualizing what she wanted the jump to look like, drawing it on paper. There was this, I think the word, and I love what you said, George, about sort of, almost riding, the last 50 meters with those guys, getting emotional. I think the word I'd be using is visceral. It's just, it's so raw. Sports,
and when the family, and then they cross the family of like Titmus and McKeon, and you just see the grandma, the grandpa, and they're just unbridled joy. It's just I think they crossed a few times to McEwen, Kaylee McEwen's sister. And I think Taylor was a breaststroker as well, if I'm not mistaken. And
dad passed away as well, cancer. So just a beautiful story, sort of doing it for dad. I think,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it might be a bit of a contentious statement, so I'm very mindful of what I'm going to say. I think the idea of patriotism and nationalism, at least these days, does get a negative connotation sometimes. But I think the Olympics is a great example of how to channel love for one's nation, patriotism, nationalism in a really positive way. Because I get it, there is a lot of bigotry and whatnot going on in the world, and I just thought the Olympics, that's what love and pride for one's country is all about, not all that other rubbish.
I think the other cool point that I know you said it's contentious, but I think it's like kind of like, I like to think it's a bit more mainstream in the sense that it shows the best of your country.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter all the other global political stuff that's going on. It literally brings the best. And that's why I love just like, the diversity of that team. It was nearly a 50-50, if not slightly more mix of women and men as well. It was embracing the culture was awesome. But you know what's really exciting? And Zoom's a great medium for this, is just watching you guys talk about it. And you've all, like, you can see just in your persona and stuff. I know it's been a long night and stuff, but everyone's like up and about. Like, you just see, like, isn't it so cool to tell a memory that was only a couple of weeks ago, and you'll tell that story a few years later. But you're all like, how excited you were there, you're living that thing. And I know, it's amongst a really challenging couple of 18 months or whatever. Like, how good is that? Like, that's like when you tell a good story and you feel part of it, because the Matildas on that night against whatever, it was Great Britain, and that tweet from the BBC, it was awesome. Like, everyone, and it doesn't matter if you don't even know anything about the sport.
Exactly. That's a really good point. I've never heard about Nicola McDermott before until that night. And then I was riding every jump with her. Like, it's just, you just get lost in it. And for a few hours, like, I know it's cliche, but all the stuff around the world, all negative stuff, just disappears for a little while.
There's also how good it is to see people succeed, like, and particularly as teachers, like, are we in the industry?
They're like your student, right? It's almost like
but you just want them to do well.
Like, you just want to hug them and go, come on.
Yeah, but you're literally writing those things, and it doesn't matter if they didn't do well. Like, they're putting their best effort. You can literally see them. This is all about put your best effort. Every
and it helped in the commentators also. And I think the commentary team, to be honest, were great. Like, they did all their research. They told you the story about how they missed this final and they missed this squad, and then you see them on the final night or the final few nights. I'm looking through because when we're watching the Olympics, and Hilson, you're talking about the best of the nations come through. I think she was teaching her kids about and I've never heard about the 3 values of the Olympics. There's actually 3 Olympic pillars that the competition's based off, and it's excellence, friendship, and respect. So for all the young people out there, or all the athletes out there, all the people out there, try to live your life, like showing those 3. Obviously excellence, that you do well in your chosen pursuit. And the friendship, I love seeing all the medal winners collect the medal, obviously code rules, and give it to their mates.
That's been the best thing ever.
That was really cute. That was a great touch. I don't know if it was something discussed, but seeing it, every single sport.
I kind of want to see the grand final this year. The same thing happens. I want to see the grand final medalists.
Exactly. Yeah. Just maybe the captain can, I don't know, give it to all his.
Is it such a school thing? Like, it happens at school. Like, when and I'm going to bring as much of the state cricket final, because when we went to that day and then you had to get called up. And the player starts handing it out. It was such a school thing. It was like, but this is happening at the international level. It's like, it's how adorable. So
it was just adorable. It was adorable. It was touching. It was obviously hygienic, but it was
as it should be.
It was hygienic as it should be. But for what, 2 weeks, all the politics, all the crap, all the negative, it just disappears, and all the respect.
Doesn't it also just fill you up as well? Doesn't it give you so much, like? You're not running on empty anymore. You're filled to the brim. Like, that's why probably you're like, because you've done all this hardship, but then you see people facing hardship, dealing with it, succeeding, even not succeeding, just being there. It's pretty exciting. So